Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Ew, I like that. Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. That's his thing. Today we are going to be answering questions that you guys sent us on Instagram and Facebook.
Thanks you guys for everyone who showed love to our last video.
Yes.
For this video, let's see if we can get 50 likes.
Yes.
So everyone right now, go down and hit that like button. Right now, we'll give you some time.
First question is, how many kids do you want? I'll let you go first.
I'd say at least 3.
I at least want 3 kids, but I'm not opposed to 4. Favorite Valentine's Day? I know mine. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
So I have 2. My first is when Tucker asked me to be his girlfriend. That was in 2016. I love that Valentine's Day. And then in 2018 when we got married on our anniversary, which was Valentine's Day. So those are my 2 favorite for sure.
I'd probably say 2018 Valentine's Day when we got married. That's probably my favorite. It was very, very spontaneous day. Very we eloped, we got married.
Don't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
So we'll save it for a story time. Favorite book? I don't have a favorite book because I'm in school and I do not enjoy reading. So.
My favorite book I've ever read, like through and through, and I just could not close it, was Holes. And that was a pretty decent sized book. I forget what grade I was in, but I read that book front to back in one day. Literally. I was up all night. I remember my mom and dad coming in the room and they were like, "Are you still reading?" And I was like, "Yes, this book is so good." But yeah, that book had me, I was in it. Dang!
I just burped.
Oh my goodness.
I just burped and I had Indian food. Stop!
You guys are gonna find out that who she is really quick.
Oh, honey. Okay, favorite foods. Thai
I
or
like
curry.
Thai food? Yeah, Thai food and sushi for me. They're Thai.
Yeah. Not for me, for him, but yeah. Ages. I am 24. My birthday is January 14th.
I'm 26.
Where did you 2 meet at?
You want me to tell the story? I guess I have to tell the story. I was at Popeyes. I think I was out to eat dinner with one of my friends, one of my old teammates, Josh Davis.
Shout out, Josh.
Shout out to Josh. We're eating Popeyes. All of a sudden, he's like, "Yo, bro, do you know who this is?" And he shows me his phone. I was like, "No, I've never seen her." Usually, being on the basketball team,
Here you go.
I'm saying, if there's a good-looking girl on campus, you 9 times out of 10, you know who she is. You've seen her somewhere. You've seen her at the cafeteria. You've seen her maybe at a party or, at a basketball game, at our game or something. You've seen somebody, but we had never seen her before. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know, I might hit her up." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" He was like, "Yeah, but I don't know, though." And so I looked at the profile and I was like, Melody, okay, that's easy. So put it in my phone, screenshot, saved it for later, got home, scrolling through the pictures, and I was like, okay, yeah, she's cute. But the thing that stuck out to me was she was wearing clothes, she didn't have her boobs out or her butt out or taking crazy thought pictures. So I was like, okay, she looks like, she might be, a good girl or whatever. So I DM'd her. I forget what I said. We'll have to screenshot it and put the DM.
Yeah.
Here's how I slid into her DMs. And, I was just talking, small talk, running my game on her,
No.
Yeah. Using that charm.
I really want to pull them up, right now.
But, yeah, so basically, before I could get into practice, our next practice, we had already, scheduled a date. And so by the time I got to practice, I was like, hey Josh, like, guess who I'm going on a date with? He was like, who? I was like, Melanie. He was like, what? I was like, sorry, bro, I had to. But yeah, that's kind of how that happened, and went on a date to Olive Garden, and yeah, kind of like the rest is history. So that's how we met.
So we met at Western, where we were both going to school at, and we hadn't seen each other before that time that Tucker DM'd me or anything like that. Have you fell out of the honeymoon phase at any point in your marriage? Yes. No relationship is perfect. I guess I kind of believe in the honeymoon phase, and I kind of don't, because I do and I don't, because it's
she was like, there is no honeymoon phase. We can stay in the honeymoon phase forever.
Because I do believe that. I feel like if you're happy with your partner, if you love your partner, like, I completely adore Tucker. You know, I tell him all the time how much I love him, how I think he's handsome. Like, I tell him those things often on a daily basis. Like, I just reinforce that love, I guess, or that affection. So to me, you can stay in the honeymoon phase as long as you want to, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be that you're falling out of the honeymoon phase when you're, you know, having a disagreement with your partner, when things may not be going in the best direction, because ultimately we're just happy. So that's how I feel about it.
I mean, my opinion on it is, there is a honeymoon phase when you first are, like, you know, dating someone, and like, they can never do wrong. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
everything they do is like the cutest thing ever. Like, everything's funny. Like, you don't get in an argument. Like, no disagreements. Each person is almost like being on their best behavior. After a while, the dust settles. Like, hang out for a while. I mean, little things start to annoy each other. If I left the toilet seat up, or like, first, like, it might not be a big deal if we're like in the honeymoon phase, but it's like, babe, like, put the toilet seat down, or like, you know, like, stop there. The honeymoon phase, the minute I started farting in front of her.
No.
Because it's like, yeah, no, I'm just joking, but I mean, every relationship, you're around someone almost every day. Like, you're gonna have your time where you just are like, okay, this is annoying, or you're annoying me. Just because that happens doesn't mean that you love the person any less, or you don't want to be with them, or something like that. It's just, you know, that's just how it is. That's how relationships are.
I also want to make the point that you should never idolize anyone else's relationship, one. And two, just because, you know, people do get into disagreements, it's normal, and nobody's relationship is perfect. So
no matter what you see online.
Yeah, no matter what you see online, it's just, yeah. Favorite date and vacation thus far. You go first.
Favorite date?
Dang, that's how you feel?
I'm just trying to think. Like, I mean, we've done a lot of things. Favorite date? I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'll just say our first date. Our first date. That's the perfect.
Because that's the easiest one to remember. It's the easiest one
first
to remember.
Date. Probably. I mean, we went camping like last summer.
Yeah.
Like,
we've been a lot of places.
Yeah, but that's not really like I mean, it is a vacation, but it was only like a 4-hour drive away, and we went and camped out in the middle of nowhere. We had like tents on the beach, with the boat out there. You know, we were water skiing. Mel got up on the wakeboard, the water skis, and she was driving the boat and all that. So, and it was just us. Like, we're just like secluded out, like almost on like a deserted island. We brought food and stuff, and like, weather was great. It was like 100 degrees almost every day, and yeah, like, it was a super chill time.
I would say my favorite date is also our first date, because it is.
She's copying me.
No.
She loves to copy me, by the way.
It is, because I was just thinking about like how much we vibed on our first date, and it's not to say that, you know, other dates don't compare, but I just in that particular time in my life, I can really recall just, you know, Tucker being really excited about us, me being really excited about having, you know, come across such a nice person.
I'm sprung.
Shut up.
Now she got me.
You're so irritating.
Got me doing things I never do.
And anyways, my favorite vacation was when we went to Paris. That was like so much fun. But, you know, after seeing Prague this past weekend, it is just absolutely beautiful there. And I mean, I had an awesome time. And, you know,
we should go there for Christmas next year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But to me, any vacation is great when you get to spend time with your partner. And there's just love in the air. And Prague brought me all of that. And my honey brought me all of that.
I brought her all that.
And I love him. So that was probably my favorite vacation. But camping was lit. I had a great time camping. It's hard to pick. Okay, so someone asked our parents' reaction to us eloping. Oh my goodness. My parents didn't know, but my dad kind of did know. And Tiger's parents knew.
Yeah. My parents knew. I mean...
Okay.
we gotta save this we're gonna do another video of story time about this, so... But that's all we can say right now. My parents knew, hers didn't.
Someone said, talk about traveling experiences. I guess, what was that?
I mean... traveling experiences, I guess, like living in Europe has been really like, I mean, it's a blessing, you know, in the whole thing, but kind of how when we went to Paris, that whole, just how that happened, like we had a little smart car, like a 2-door, you know, those little smart cars you see on the road. There's not many of them in America, but like in Europe, they're pretty popular. So we actually drove from Cologne. To drive all the way is like a 7-hour drive, so obviously we only made it like kind of partway through Belgium. We ended up finding like a Best Western by the airport and then like slept for a couple hours. And then we drove through, got down to Paris, met up with one of my teammates' buddies who was from there. He met us at the train station and like set us up, told us how to get around, and we like drove the train in. And so like that was cool, experiencing all that. And then we stayed in Paris for like 6 days, and then after that we left, drove home, and on the way home we drove through Brussels in Belgium, and then we like explored Belgium for like 2 or 3 hours, just walked around, got some Belgian waffles and stuff. I guess just being over here and being so close to, you know, you can drive like 2 hours depending on where you are, and you can drive through like 2 or 3 countries sometimes, and all of them, they could speak a different language, they could have, you know, different food, different customs and stuff, and so just being able to experience that has probably been like my favorite.
What is it like living in a completely different country? Okay, so it is exciting to be, you know, in a different part of the world and get to experience new things. And I'm very grateful for the experiences that we've been afforded through Tucker playing basketball to be able to explore Europe like this. However, it can be really tough because we miss out on important holidays and birthdays and events, and we just miss out on that time to spend with our family and friends. And, you know, the only time we can really do anything with them is during the summertime. Now that I have a niece, it's even more like, shout out to Bella. Hey, girl. Love Bella.
You would think that Bella in
the video.
You would think that Bella is her child.
I love her.
The way she talks about Bella, she talks about Bella more than she talks about me.
Maybe, but I love you too. He's so jealous.
Living in another country I feel like for me, because I don't know. I mean, I can adjust quick, but there's always an adjustment phase, and you have to just be okay with things being different, very different, and you just have to learn to be able to adjust to the most random things that aren't normal for you. So when we first got out here, it was a super big adjustment, and we came out together. We flew out together. But it was culture shock for real. Like, I mean, just going grocery shopping took us like 2 hours because it was like we were in Germany. We had no idea about the language. We had no idea about where stuff was in a grocery store. Like, we're still jet lagged. We like speak zero German, like not even like any words.
Deutsch or nein Deutsch.
Yeah, like nothing. And so it was tough. Like, you know, you're hungry, you're jet lagged, you're frustrated, you're tired, you're hungry. Like, and then we went to the store because we were like gonna do some chicken, but we had totally misinterpreted it and bought like chicken liver or
something crazy.
It stunk so bad.
But it looked like chicken, but it was not chicken.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was like pork. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
it was disgusting.
It was weird. So we spent basically 3 years more or less in Germany.
Yeah.
And after the first couple months, we were used to it.
Yeah.
Learned some German. Like now, you know, I can pretty much read like a food label and know like all the food that's in it. We got really comfortable in Germany.
I really like Germany. I think it's solid for sure. They definitely have some good food there that we have found and enjoyed, and I really appreciate the culture and the people.
This year we're in Czech Republic now, and so that was like a 6-hour car ride. But literally once we cross the border, it's totally different language, you know, obviously different country, there's different brands of food.
Yeah.
And then there's just different everything. So we've gotten used to like the things that were in Germany and reading German and doing all that stuff. And then like we get here and it's like, okay, like, like here we go again. Like we have to learn like where things are, like, we have to learn like what chicken means and like just all like the little things and like how to say things. And, so yeah, it's just like, I mean, but it after like a couple of weeks, you get used to it, gain a broader perspective and appreciation, understanding for different cultures, where people come from. And you just eyes are more open to the world.
Yeah, I've met some really great people in Germany and here in Czech, and I'm so grateful that we get to experience this. So yeah. So we also got the question, how did we meet and what were our first assumptions of one another? So we already answered how we met, but first assumptions of one another. Okay.
Let me go first on this one.
Dang, okay. So, we already said yours.
No, she was living in the Valleys.
The Valleys are...
Oh yeah, the Valleys is like dorm rooms at Western. Yeah, so I got there and I texted her, I was like, I'm here. You know, obviously she's gonna come outside. And she texted me and she was like, come in. And like there's like a entryway where you go in the dorm lobby.
Yeah.
And I see her and like 2 friends there and I'm like, okay, like this is weird. So like I go in and her friends are basically like, okay, like we need your ID, like we need your information, your address, like take a picture of your license plate. And I was like, what in the heck is going on?
Which they should have done because we don't know, or I didn't know you, and he could have been anybody. He could have done anything and nobody would have knew where I was or what happened to me.
I mean, it's not like I wasn't on the basketball team and I wasn't like a known person, but known people kill people all the time. Ask OJ. I don't even remember the ride, but yeah, that was probably it for me.
I don't remember the car ride, but I do remember I got into his Hummer and man, those doors were heavy and I'm short and I just remember like, dang, that door is heavy. Why am I so short getting into this car? I don't know. I do remember that. But first impressions when
she cute or whatever.
When I first saw him message me on Insta, I was thinking like, man, I hope he's not like some soft weirdo boy. That's literally what I thought. I don't know if I told you that, but that's what I thought. And then I met him in person and
it's like, damn.
I was like, damn, Zaddy, he is not soft.
You better tell him.
But no, I just really liked Tucker when I first met him. I thought we had a lot in common. So
She fell in love at first sight.
it wasn't love at first sight. It was like love at the third date, which is probably in the same.
It was love on the second
It
date.
was love when we went to Applebee's.
Which was the second date, which was like 2 days later on your birthday.
In my head, I feel like that was like, okay, it was probably.
She loved me so much that she met me on the 10th. She hung out with me on the 10th
of January.
And then she canceled all her plans. And on January 14th, 2018. 2016, your boy was balling on a budget in college and took her to Applebee's happy hour, half price appetizers for the birthday, okay? And she been loving the boy ever since.
I really feel like that was like our third date, but maybe I made that up. I don't know in my head.
It's okay.
Babe.
Next question.
Oh my goodness. Has marriage made life easier or more challenging? So, like, has getting married made things easier between us, or have they become more challenging between us?
I mean, that's such a tough question to answer. I mean, there's for sure easy days, and there's easy weeks, and there's easy times, like, more than not. Like, you know what I mean? But with the sunny days, there comes rain, and then when it's rain, it's like, that's when it's like, things aren't easy or whatever, but it's not like that's permanent or something. So I would just say that it's just a work in progress like any other relationship, marriage or non-marriage. But I mean, for me, working on us has gotten easier since we've been married. I would say because it was something that needs to happen. Not just because we're married, but because like we're gonna be together. So like there's no like, man, I'm not messing with you, like, peace.
Yeah, so I think that people think marriage is hard because it's not something that you can just walk away from. You know, like, when you're boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever with someone, if they do something you don't like, or if, you know, something's not going how you want it to go, then you can just peace out, and then there's no responsibility there. But when you're married, I mean, you could walk out, but it's just like, who's gonna, like, why would you do that? Yeah. So it's, for me, it's just like, it did make things more challenging, but when you're married, like, you should want to work on things because there's gonna be challenges in any relationship. To me, I just feel like because Tucker and I were so inseparable before getting married, and because of all the time that we spent together before we got married, just doing all the things that, you know, we've done, and I mean, living together before we got married, it was just kind of like, nothing had changed. So
it was almost like we were already married.
Yeah, it didn't get easier, and it didn't get more challenging. Like,
yeah,
we just worked through things as they came. So
I'll just say we've gotten better at not being with one another, but like we've just got better at being together as time has gone on.
Yeah. Someone asked, what do I do for work? So as of last year, I began my own business, and I started doing work in my field, which is business marketing.
Make sure you guys go visit diversiderm.com, okay? DIVER
SIDER.
Diversiderm, yep, .com.
It'll be in the link since he can't really spell.
Go get you some
body butter.
Body butter. Make sure you glowing, okay?
Yeah, get that skin together.
Make sure your
get
skin
moisturized. This is advertisement right here.
This is not a paid advertisement, okay? This is just real. This is real. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm not a paid actor, okay?
I also do social media marketing. Tucker's mom was one of my first clients, so I manage her social media platforms. And I'm going to be getting more clients and just expanding that. That's what I went to school for. I'm currently in school right now, getting my master's in business marketing, and I'll be finished next spring. So I'm just focusing on things in my field now that I've, finished my bachelor's degree.
She graduated with a 3.9 what?
I don't know, like 7.
3.97 summa cum laude, okay, at the top of her class. Let's talk about it.
The question that you guys have all been waiting for.
Drum roll, please.
How many children do you want?
We already answered this.
No, we didn't. Oh, we did?
This was the first. Wow.
Oh.
So we did the drum roll and everything for her to.
Okay, wait. We can redo it. Okay, no, this is the question everybody's been waiting for. Come on, drum roll for me again.
Drum roll again.
When are y'all having kids?
I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it. It's more so that's something that like you can plan, but like at the end of the day, it's like it's not really up to us. Regardless of whatever planning we tried to do, the guy was like, all right,
time for a baby.
Time for a baby. It's like, well, okay, it's time, but in our plan that we kind of have that's rough, obviously we want her to finish school, so she has like another year or so of that. And we still want to kind of travel a little bit more and like just enjoy us being young and not having any extra responsibilities as like a full-time parent. Like, we don't really know what that entails, but we've seen from our friends and like her sister that like it's
just a full-time job.
Yeah, like it's being a parent, it's not bad or anything by any means. It's just like we want to do some things that people who I know, and I'm sure people who she knows, and my parents and everything have just been like, take your time, like if you want to do these things, if you want to keep traveling, like do it, because once you have a kid, like changes everything, not in a bad way, but like your life revolves around that child now, which is great. We just want to make sure we're at like in the space where we can be like, like, okay, we're ready to be like all in for that, not be like, oh man, like we can go on one more trip, like, or something like that. Not that it's about the trips and like that's more important than a child.
It's just the kind of lifestyle that we live right now. It's just we do what we want. We're, if things are a little uncertain, like we can live with that. But, we don't want things to be uncertain. And then we also have, a child to take care of. So for me, I just kind of feel like 27, 28.
So I'll be like 30.
Yeah.
And that'd be about the time where like, with basketball, I know more so of like, once you get to that age, you kind of get to a point to where you have a team that'll bring you back for like maybe 2 or 3 years. You kind of have like a second home where if you're going back and forth, it's a lot easier right now. Like for us, the last 2 years, we've been in
Cyprus, Germany.
Cyprus, but like from Cyprus, we went Cyprus, Spain, Germany, America, and then
Germany again, and then Czech Republic. That was it.
Yep, that was it. So like,
but still, just knowing everything that happened in between those things,
and then we'll go back home. Yeah. So basically, in the last year, once we get home here in a little bit, we'll have like lived for a period of time in 7 countries. Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Like, we wouldn't really be able to do that if we had like another human being to like take care of. And
I mean, that baby's got to go to school. That baby needs some kind of...
What's a baby going to school? Like a 1, 2, 3-year-old?
In Spain, kids go to school at 1.
What are they learning?
Ask Danny. Gracie was in school. Like...
She was not 1. She was like 3.
No, she was probably 2 if she wasn't 1. Because yes, she was.
I guess these babies out here are smart, okay? Shout out to Gracie,
Shout out to Brayden.
Yeah, we haven't met Brayden yet.
Yeah, those are our friends' children.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Danny and Shane. They let us stay with them in Spain for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And man, me and Gracie, we developed just a great relationship. We had so much fun. We did. She was putting stickers on my face that one time.
She didn't like him.
Gracie was like, that was my little best friend.
Yeah, I was sad when we left Gracie.
Yeah. She's silly.
Yeah, she is.
She's styling.
She is styling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shout out Alexa Kennedy clothing line.
Yeah. Go to Alexa Kennedy. Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Go get some clothes for your baby.
Yeah. A portion of every price tag sold will be donated to a non-profit organization that makes angel gowns out of donated wedding dresses for angel babies in need. What 3 words would you use to describe your spouse? Oh, honey.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Silly. And caring.
Thank you, honey. It's hard to describe him in 3 words because I can think of a lot of things. Tucker is very... Okay, I'll try to fit this all into one. Ambitious, and he's very ambitious and goal-driven. He is just truly a go-getter. He is adventurous. He loves an adventure. He's a thrill seeker. And he is... how do I put this? You're not a prankster, but I don't know. He's just very like goofy, which is the one thing I like. I like how we can play around a lot. Like we play around all the time, and he's always cracking jokes on me. How did I know Tucker was the one for me? Like I said, I feel like I knew on what he calls the second and I called the third date when we went to Applebee's. I don't know. It was just, I felt like he was just on a different level from other guys that I had talked to or been with.
Mm-hmm.
He just was able to bring something to the shut up. He was just able to bring something to the table as far as intelligence that I was really attracted to. He was just very knowledgeable. Maybe that's like a geeky thing to say, but
I am a geek, low-key.
But just like the amount of information that brewed within his mind was just so sexy to me. And it was just like, I mean, and it even still is to this day. Like sometimes I just watch him maneuver and do things and it's just like, yeah, that's my man.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm her man.
but he, I don't know, like just when we were in college and it's just something about being with a person and being yourself and them accepting you and showing you different things that you haven't seen in other people. I guess I don't really know how to describe it, but just catering to those needs that you think other people might not, or you necessarily don't expect them to, I would say. So I don't know, I just kind of clicked in that way with him and how he was able to meet certain things that I like needed.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
You're making me just glow inside.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
guys, so that answers all of the questions that we were asked. Yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let us know if you have any more questions so that we can do another Q&A for you guys. Bye, guys.
Oh, but then